Welcome to another episode of the Presidential Executive Podcast. It's your boy JB, my guy.
Stringer the Rag. What it do?
What is going on,
Episode
man?
29.
29. One more to 30.
Oh, yeah.
What I mean? I'm loving it. I do want to give a quick shout out real quick. Actually, before I do that, let me just say you can follow the Presidential Executive Podcast on Spotify now, on Amazon Music, on Google Podcasts, on Stitcher, and on iHeartRadio. So
We out there.
yes, and all our social media platforms is ThePrezEx. How you spell that, Rag?
ThePrezEx.
Oh-ho!
ThePrezEx all together. And that's YouTube. You type that in, we're gonna pop up. Instagram, you type that in, we're gonna pop up. Facebook, Twitter. We out there. I ain't figured out the algorithm for the Snap yet to figure out how to do that, because I think it's just mostly taking pictures right then. Because a lot of time, like, I got a Snapchat page and I tried to like make it to where I could post. Right. I can't even post some of our stuff on it. You know, like it has to be a current, like right then, like you're taking a picture type thing. So, but if I figure it out, we're going to be on there too.
For sure. You see how he just spit that out just like an MC? He just going. You know what I'm saying? He said, you heard the MC just come out of him when we doing that. You know what I'm saying? So do that, y'all. Please like, share, subscribe, all that stuff on either on our YouTube and on all podcast platforms. I wanted to give a shout out to my boy Jason Brown. Him and his wife Tasia, talked to him today. They actually watch the podcast as a couple.
Okay, that's
you know
what's
what
up.
I'm saying? They be sitting down, you
that's
know what I'm saying, watching. So, you know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to my boy Jason and his wife Tasia. Actually, they are celebrating, I believe, 10 years of marriage, I believe, coming up here already, actually. I think, yeah, it's been 10 years since, I think, April. I think they got married. I was in the wedding. It was in Houston, Texas. So shout out to them. I appreciate y'all supporting, hollering at me, and you know what I'm saying, seeing what's going on. So I want to give a shout out to that. Anything else, Rag? What you got?
I mean, I did this on the rundown, but again, you know, rest in peace to the legend, Dr. Stephen Nielsen. A couple of days ago passed. His funeral will actually be tomorrow, which is, by the time y'all see this, but it's on Wednesday. May the 12th, you know, very important mentor of mine, you know, overall good dude, and loved all people, no matter what your race, creed, gender, background was. He genuinely loved everybody, and he made me actually change how I viewed other people. You know what I'm saying? And I believe
Alpha Lex, he helped.
Yeah. Now that name, cause what it was is I had to do, to break down a particular passage, you know, scripture or whatever. And so he came to me afterwards and he said, man, he said, I knew you were smart, but I didn't know you were a lexicon. And I was like, huh? He's like, yeah, you're a lexicon. So I had to look it up.
Right.
And basically, to put it in layman's terms, it's a Greek dictionary, but it just contains a lot of words. Or when you call somebody, it's somebody who knows a lot of words. And so, you know, but believe it, when y'all hear me use a lot of words on here, I'm not trying to sound intelligent. I'm not imitating Stephen A. Smith or T.I. or anybody like that. Like, I talk like that.
That's him.
For real.
That's
like,
him,
it's like, man, you know, you from South Memphis and Raleigh. Like, how you know all them, you know, you trying to sound intelligent. No, like, I literally talk like this for real. And so, but yeah, so, man, he's definitely a legend, an inspiration, and loved everybody. So, you know, prayers to his family.
For sure.
And, but yeah, that's all I got.
Condolences on that. Yeah. And we got an interesting one here today, man. Actually, I want to give, this was maybe a few months ago on Facebook. One of my Facebook friends, I want to give her credit. Her name is maybe Melanie Elise. Yeah. And she said something about this. Maybe it was in a comment or something. And I just, you know, kept it in my thought in the back of my mind, just about love versus compatibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's something good to get into, because it's one of those things to where you kind of need both to really, you know, create something, you know, big in a union, in a relationship, if you're trying to create something. But my thing is, which which is most important, you know what I'm saying? Because I do believe you need to have stock in one more kind of than the other, and then the other one can maybe fall into place as you get one of them, founded and built. You know what I'm saying? So we did reach out to some people in that regard to kind of get, their opinions on it, their perspective on it. You know what I'm saying? But, I do want to wrap among ourselves. And also the people that, as I'm recording this, you know what I'm saying? So people hit me up saying that they gonna send whatever we act for tomorrow and stuff.
Yeah, they're not gonna make it.
Sorry,
not gonna make it.
I done told you. I said ASAP. Yeah. I said, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we can.
And we're gonna shout you out if you actually submit an email, because there's not that many of them.
Right.
So we're gonna shout you out. We're gonna say who sent the email. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And these are not randos. Like, these are people that we respect and know, different age groups, different backgrounds, some single, some married, some engaged, some divorced. Like, we went out, and got just different input. So it's not just coming from one side, and they're not all saying the same thing.
Right. So, so shout out to that. But I want to get into it, just in, from my vein, like love and compatibility, because I just be, straight up, like, for me, the priority, I think the priority, which one for me I believe is love, know, and I actually had to write this down just because I was doing so much earlier. So, how you have brain farts and you just, forget. I've had that on different podcasts too. I've like, dang, I meant to say this. I do, you know what I'm saying? Which I didn't. So I actually helped write this down actually for my view on this. So I believe it's actually love, you know what I'm saying? Because love is a choice. Love is a decision. Love forces you to use your faith. You know what I'm saying? In my view, I believe, I can be compatible with anyone. You know what I'm saying? In my view, like, just like with you, you know how to carry conversations. You can go out with anybody. I put somebody in front of you. You can have a conversation and be like, you can kind of click with them. You know what I'm saying? You can have anybody that have the same interests, same hobbies, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I've been more compatible with interest-wise with plenty of women before my wife. You know what I'm saying? And maybe more even so because, same age, same, how different stuff growing up and all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was just the overall qualities that I didn't like, that maybe didn't want to take it to that next level in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that we should look more for qualities in a person, not necessarily compatibility. You know what I'm saying? Compatibility happens when both parties are willing to act on the love they committed to. Compatibility, to me, as a priority, is almost like a cop-out, because I believe that you're saying you want something already built in and not take the time and effort to learn, grow, and build together in a relationship. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's already saying, oh, we already got this together, so, we can already kind of go off this. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when that compatibility isn't there to fall back on, like, what you gonna do now? You know what I'm saying? Right. You fell in love with your compatibility and not with love. And so when you start evolving and maturing as a person, and certain things you like now, you may not like 5 or 10 years from now or want to do. So now what? It's gonna be harder to try to find that love back. You know what I'm saying? Since that's a choice. You know what I mean? So that's my little 2 cents. I'm sure we're gonna go back and forth a little bit as far as just, your view. Then we're gonna, read the emails and stuff. So.
Yeah, read the emails.
You want to read the email?
Yeah, read the emails.
Okay.
You know I'm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay, let me read a couple of these emails. Let's see. I will go with B Hall first.
Okay. Cuzzo.
B Hall. Okay, B Hall. He says, personally, in my opinion, love is far more important, because love will show / teach you to deal with the differences, because love loves the being / soul in their entirety, the light and the dark. When you love someone truly, we are willing to take all of them, no matter the relationship. You learn to compromise. When you love this way, you can just about get along with any soul. Now, there are exceptions. And some folks you just don't want to or allow themselves to be loved in that manner. But I think love is greater than compatibility. That's B Hall.
Okay, that's B Hall.
All right, and let me get it to another one here. Should I go past the mic? Sister Z.
No, I mean you like just however they go.
Okay, let me go with my sister.
Okay,
my sister.
Zarina.
My sister.
I see she sent you an essay.
I know, right? Yeah.
Good job, Zarina. We just messing with you.
It's all good. It's all good. I told her so it's all good. So, my sister, she said, having been married and now divorced, here is my opinion. When it comes to a relationship / marriage, I would have to say compatibility is greater than love if I had to choose one. Love is something that comes with time. You don't fall, and she got fall in quotation marks, in love. You grow in love. Love is an action word. As the word says, love is patient, kind, doesn't envy, doesn't boast, is not proud, does not dishonor, is not self-seeking, not easily angered, keeps no record of wrongs. If love is all these things, how can you say you love someone after 3 to 6 months of knowing them? You can't. You may feel that you could grow to love them, but true love is demonstrated over time, years.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, I believe you first need to understand what love truly means and learn how to love yourself before you get in a relationship / marriage with somebody. Compatibility is when you get along with somebody pretty well and you may even share some of the same interests, which is important to a certain degree. I feel that you can be compatible with the wrong person. Preach. So I do believe that suitability is greater than love and compatibility. Suitability is when you are with a person who is right for your particular purpose in life. For example, you may be in a relationship with someone you feel that you love and you are compatible because you are both teachers and you both like working out and like to laugh, but they are suitable for you. Is that going to be an asset regarding your purpose in life? For example, if he feels that his purpose has to do with serving at-risk youth and the woman doesn't even like kids or doesn't have the patience or willingness to be a part of that, then you may be suitable for one another. That's it. That was what Sis said. So, you want me to keep going?
Let's go. Let's go. Because I mean, we asked people to submit. So, So we had one from B Hall. We had one from Zarina. Who else we got?
Let's see. Let's go with Pastor Mike.
Okay. Good old Pastor Mike.
Pastor Mike. Salute to you,
for real,
my guy. Okay. He
Kingdom
says,
Life Church.
Kingdom Life Church. He says 1 Corinthians 13:4-7. He says shows that love is greater than compatibility. Sometimes we are irritated or angered by others and we don't know why. Not all. Irritability stems from simple or selfish motives, although the irritable treatment of others surely is wrong. Much irritability comes from the love of perfection.
Right.
That is from Pastor Mike.
Okay.
And I want to go with MK. MK sent a small. I don't even know.
Yeah, I was like, that man sent a haiku.
Yeah, I don't even know. He just said salute. You know what I'm saying? But
what my guy MK say?
Yeah, MK was very short with it. He said, "What's the question? What matters most in a relationship, love or compatibility?" He said his answer is compatibility. You know what I'm saying? And so that's all he said. You know?
Okay.
So, so we got we got two compatibilities, I think, right now. And let's see, our girl Essence, man. I forgot about her. Yeah,
my girl
Essence, man.
Because she actually commented on one of the joint we made about the friend zone.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see that yet.
She commented.
I didn't see that yet.
On that. What did she say?
Essence, man. Cool.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. Definitely good people, man.
Yeah, man. I gotta check that out, but. This what she actually said. He said, what matters most in a relationship, love or compatibility? My answer to that is love. Love can create the desire to become more compatible, while compatibility can sometimes stir the illusion of love. The scriptures say God is love. So this love is divine and teaches and gives wisdom. Love teaches to be patient and kind with each other, and wisdom to discern compatibility. So love is the greatest of all. Love will help you be patient enough to perceive if compatibility is enough for a relationship. Compatibility is limiting. Love is limitless and truthful with self and others. Essence.
Okay.
Salute. Okay.
So we got what, 2 more?
2 more. You got 2 more. My girl Melanie.
Okay. Good old TSU alum.
TSU. Melanie Patterson. That's my homie. Melanie, she said, in my opinion, I think it's compatibility. When you first meet someone, you have a lot of conversations at the beginning to learn their likes, dislikes, what their beliefs, morals, goals are, interests, etc. Those first encounters determine whether you all have sparked some type of connection to continue to date and develop a relationship that will eventually lead to marriage. Along the way, that compatibility grows into love.
Okay.
Male. And we have another one from Erica Thomas.
Okay. Good old Brett friend, TSU alum. I think Craigmont alum for you.
Yeah. We go way back. She says, compatibility. Compatibility is more about common interests, such as you like to golf, I like to golf. These things can change or evolve over time as 2 people grow. If it were all about compatibility, what would you do in countries with no Topgolf? Common interests aren't bad in itself, but won't sustain a relationship. Although there is nothing wrong with romance, compatibility idolizes this side of love and can distort your view of reality. A core of activities to do together is good, but not the priority. And then she got love. The priority over compatibility, in my opinion, among 2 people should be to love. Love is a learned behavior, a state of being. And then she quoted the scriptures, 1 Corinthians 13:4-8. Love is patient, love is kind, is not jealous, love does not brag, it is not arrogant, it does not act disgracefully, it does not seek its own benefit, it is not provoked, it does not give an account of a wrong suffered, it does not rejoice in the unrighteousness, but rejoices with the truth. It keeps every confidence, it believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Humans don't love well. This is her talking now. Humans don't love well. We have to choose it. Everything begins with the invitation. Choose to love someone who doesn't think like you do. Choose to be kind when the person is on your last nerve. Choose to confront and speak truth in love when it's hard. Love will meet the needs of the other person. Love is one aspect of the fruit of the Spirit in that we learn and actively seek to grow in through Holy Spirit. Love is achieved through discipline, practice, and humility. Complement each other's strength and learn to love. Without love, which is God, equals Jesus, there will just be power struggle and battle of the sexes.
Okay. And last one, and I'm gonna give a shout out to my little brother, because he always will send us inboxes and ask us, do we watch videos? Birdie,
yes,
J-Rag. So he was supposed to email it, but he said he was having problems with his phone, so he sent me a text message. He said, if a man is willing to love himself enough to know his natural ability and his spiritual ability, he can love a woman unconditionally because he knows the purpose of a woman being in his life. So it should be easy for him to express his needs and concerns to a woman after he has accomplished that. A woman was made to adapt to a man's vision, drive, and stamina naturally and spiritually. So with that being said, a woman is more likely to adapt and adjust to a man's, strengths and weaknesses. The reason why is because the man is supposed to be a leader, be the example, and the accountability for the relationship. Everything starts with him. So he basically put it on the man, like love, but in the context of a man loving himself.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so,
okay.
You asked me, what I thought. And so,
yeah.
First of all, I would, I'm a reference the script. I'm gonna read the scripture that a lot of people was referencing. And this is what, Well, first, let me say this. Things are first natural, then spiritual. Our concept of love, when we say love, we're speaking of the emotional feeling.
Right.
So like when we say which is more important, love or compatibility, people automatically go to that pit of your stomach feeling.
Yeah.
That butterfly feeling. Right.
Most people. Yeah.
That's infatuation.
Yeah.
That's lust. That can pass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like both people don't always feel that way all the time, every day, 24 hours a day. You know, so when your wife burned the grits, when your husband left his drawers on the floor and missed the hamper and didn't pick them back up, you're not in that mindset, oh, I just love my husband so much. Oh, I love my wife so much. No, you like, nigga, pick your drawers up or stop burning the grits. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not thinking about, oh, I'm just so in love. We're thinking about the feeling, the emotion of love. And as Tina Turner said, it's just an emotion. Mm-hmm. Emotions can change. Mm-hmm. Emotions can fluctuate based on your mood. Sometimes don't have nothing to do with the other person. Right. Sometimes it could be on how you're feeling. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so a lot of times we approach love from that aspect, and it's more than that. And so with that being said, the scripture says it from a noun standpoint. And so I'll start with I'll start 1. He said, oh, I speak with tongues of men and angels. If I have not charity, the word charity means love. I am becoming a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. Basically said I'm making noise. Right. Even though I can do all this godly stuff, I'm just making noise if I don't love people. And he said, though I have the gift of prophecy and I understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, and so that I could remove mountains and have not charity or love, I am nothing. So he's saying, even though I can do all of this stuff, if in my heart or the way I'm operating, it's not operating in the noun form, the action, or rather not the noun, but the verb form, which is an action of love, he says, I'm nothing. He said, and I can bestow or give all my goods to feed the poor. And though I give my body to be burned and have not charity or love, it profit me nothing. And he breaks it down. So instead of saying charity, let's just say love. Love suffers long. Now we say patient. Right. We don't understand what patient means. Yeah. The word here says suffers long or long suffering. It means that I am going through something unpleasant that I don't want to go through for an undetermined amount of time.
It is not set.
It's not set. Right. So that could be months, that could be weeks, that could be years, that could be decades, that could be half a century. Yeah. I'm suffering long. I am going through something that I really don't want to go through. I'm going through right. But I'm going through it. Right. Without complaining, without blaming, without having a bad attitude. It says that it's kind. It doesn't envy. It doesn't vaunt itself or lift itself up. It's not puffed up. It doesn't behave unseemly. It doesn't seek after its own. It's not easily provoked or angered. You ain't quick to get mad. If you love somebody and they make you mad quick, if little thing they do to make you mad, it ain't a them problem. You got to check. I really don't love them like I say I do. It says it thinks no evil. If I love you, I'm not accusatory to you. My first thought is not to accuse you of. If I really love you, I'm going to exhaust all possibilities before I come to you. And so again, that makes us check ourselves. Sometimes we have to check ourselves with our kids, with our friends.
And let me say this before we start continues. This is God's word, y'all. So anybody that, is thinking whatever he's saying, like, this is the word. And
I'm just reading it straight out of the scripture. This is not my opinion.
And he's versed in this as far as knowledge, going to seminary and stuff like that. So continue.
Okay, it rejoices not in iniquity, or like when somebody's doing wrong or something is wrong going on with you. I'm not happy that you're going through the wrong or the dirt or the mess, but I rejoice in truth. I bear all things, which means no matter what you throw at me, I take it. Man, I believe all things. So that means like, hey, if you telling me something, like that Shaggy song, it wasn't me, I can have you on tape. If you tell me, I believe it. Yeah. I hope all things. I endure all things. Love never fails. And that's verse 8. Love never fails. So again, when we say love, a lot of times when I say, oh, I love you, you're not speaking from the verb. Right. You're speaking from a feeling. Right. Like when I think about you, I feel some type of way. Mm-hmm. But the first thing it said, love suffers long. Mm-hmm. Like I can't tell you how many times my daughter does stuff and my mom will be like, oh, you should say something. No, because I love her. Now, sometimes, when you just blatantly wrong, right. I got to correct you, but it's stuff she does that gets on my nerves. But I love you. Why? I don't care nothing about that. Right. I'm not finna stress about that. What's the point? Mm-hmm. And so when we say that, so then, but what I see from that is an action, which means I have to do it. Okay. Yeah. So when we say love is important in a relationship, okay, well, both people have to be willing to do that. Yeah. Okay. We talk about compatibility. Now, this is a time I got to cover this bottle because we're not sponsored, right? Right. Now you look at this. This don't look nothing like this. Mm. They not shaped the same. They not made of the same material. They probably don't hang out in the same places. Mm-hmm. They don't have the same background. They ain't got the same type of parents. But guess what? They fit. Yep. This bottle is still able to be this bottle with this top in it. This top is still a top, even though it's attached to this bottle. Even though they come from two different backgrounds, two different types of material, two different types of thing. I believe Eric said it. Like, what if you're somewhere where you can't play golf? Now, don't get me wrong. Compatibility is good.
For sure.
Compatibility is good. But guess what? If you got an Android phone and I got an Android phone, your charger is going to work on my phone, even though it's your charger. Yeah. It'll fit. It's compatible with any Android. Right. Not just any Android. It's compatible with a lot of Bluetooth devices. Yeah. It's compatible with my PlayStation. Those all serve three different functions, but that charger can fit. It can adapt.
Right. And to your point, even when we can go so deep with this, like in Hollywood, we see people, actor, marrying actress because they have compatibility. I understand your schedule. I understand what it's like to be a superstar. Right. And most of those things, they don't end up working out.
Well, I ain't gonna say who it was, but I know two of them. When one was more, the woman was more famous than the man was. Mm-hmm. And then as soon as he got a franchise, he was in a Marvel movie, and then he was in a Jurassic Park movie, and so then all of a sudden he became this sex symbol, and he blowing up, and now her career ain't going as good as it was going at first. And then it started to conflict. The compatibility wasn't there no more. Yep. Because compatibility a lot of times is circumstantial. It's based off of circumstance. It's based on, we both like to exercise. Well, what happens if I get into an accident and I can't run no more or go to the gym no more? You know what I'm saying? What happens if she has a lot of kids and she ain't trying to be in the gym all the time? You know, she's not as fit as she once was. Mm-hmm. Not to say compatibility, to say it's nothing wrong with compatibility, but, and I'll just speak from a homeboy perspective. Now, we consider each other homeboy. Like you said, I'm in your fave five.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, hey, whenever I get married, like if I got to have a groomsman, you one of them.
For sure.
Right? But who your favorite team? Football. Cowboys. You see what he got in his hand. Who is mine?
The Niners.
We are two different colors. That's like Bloods and Crips. Like we red and blue. Like we ain't on the same team.
Yeah.
Okay. Basketball. Who your favorite team?
My favorite
NBA.
The Grizzlies.
I'm a Bulls fan. Everybody who know me know I'm a Bulls fan since I was 4 years old. Two different teams.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You like the Florida Gators college football. Yeah. I like the USC Trojans college football. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Who you like in baseball?
I'm more of a Cubs guy.
I'm a Braves fan.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So when you're talking about likes, and keep this in mind, I got homeboys that I know that like the 49ers, like I like the 49ers, but I'm more comfortable kicking it with you, even though me and that person you would say have more in common.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like even when you were my manager, you ain't never spit a verse before?
No.
I was the one that was up on stage doing that. You had the experience marketing and being an executive and managing, like all of that. You knew how to do that. I knew how to perform and be on stage and construct a song and be in the studio. Yeah. We apples and oranges.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? But again, the choice was we chose to fit. Right. We chose to be compatible. We chose to get along. We chose to look past our differences. And where the love comes in is, even though I know you like them Cowboys and sometimes it hurts my stomach.
Yes.
If I come over and the Cowboys game on and the 49ers game on and I'm at your house, 10 times out of 10, unless y'all just getting a mud hole stomped in y'all, we gonna be watching the Cowboys game. Yeah. And I got to sit there and not say something and hope that you let me flip over when a commercial comes on. So I can at least see what the score is, right. or see maybe catch a defensive stop or a touchdown play. Yeah. But again, compatibility is a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you automatically have stuff that you like to do with somebody. Other times it's just, you start doing stuff with something, and sometimes it ain't even about the thing, it's about the person. I don't like playing golf. I like playing golf with you. Dude, two of my, and you know this too, and I said this on the podcast before, but two of my closest homeboys, and I don't, it's not a pick on thing, but they know who they are. But our faith is not the same. Yep. So people say all the time, like, man, how the two of your closest homeboys and y'all don't believe the same way? And I got people who believe the exact same as I do. Right. It's not because, man, them dudes, I could just, if something bad happened, I could start praying. They're not finna laugh. Right. They're not finna mock. They gonna, man, no, man, that's Shay. Yeah. And guess what? When they speak from where they're coming from and why they feel the way they feel, why they believe, man, y'all going here, I don't do that. And they're comfortable because I don't come at them like that. I respect them as men for who they are and how they carry themselves and how they conduct their lives and handle their business. And so guess what? Even though we're different, we come from different backgrounds. We come from different households. We was raised, similarly, but different. Mm-hmm. We don't mind that we're different and we allow the other person to be who they are. And from the love standpoint, we choose to still be around that person in spite of the difference.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying before. Like, to me, love is, you can't run away from it. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Most people, they come from it from a feeling standpoint or from an emotional standpoint. But like you said, love is a verb. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to grow. You have to choose to love somebody. You know what I'm saying? Without conditions. What it says, unconditional.
Right. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't. Oh, well, you do this, so I like. Look, right. No. If it's based on that, you don't really love me.
Compatibility is more of a condition. It's a condition of, we're good, we're cool because X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Because we went to the same high school. You know what I'm saying? We went to, you know what I'm saying, this other class together. Right. All this stuff. Like, it's a condition. Like, but a lot of people that were high school sweethearts that I know of. You know what I'm saying? A couple that I knew. I know some worked out. But you just grow over a lot of time. Stuff happens. You grow. You learn different stuff. It ain't nothing bad. You know what I'm saying? It's not he bad or she bad. It's just that you grow. Certain things that y'all had in common, it happened, but it really don't matter no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? It really don't matter.
Perfect example, dude. I used to love, like, man, growing up, I love M&M's, Hershey's, anything chocolate. Man, I was always trying to eat it. Like, now, I occasionally eat it. Right. But like, man, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 letters, man, you couldn't tell me nothing about no chocolate. Like, I was out, man, the little Hershey's Kisses, Snickers bar, man, I had to have it. Yeah. And like now, man, and my students knew, because on Teacher Appreciation Day, when I was teaching, they used to always give me lemon heads. Because they knew. And that part of that, we moved back to Memphis, like, but you go to the hood stores, but like, that's what I want. I can eat them all day. Right. To my detriment. You know what I'm saying? My dentist will say, Mr. Ragland, you've been having a little fun, haven't you? But like, to your point about things changing, it happens over time. You can't base it off of compatibility. And again, it goes back to, from the love standpoint, it's a choice that both people have to make. Now, me personally, I think that both of them, love and compatibility, controversial take, are both BS. Okay. Not from an ideal standpoint.
I got you.
Not from a principle standpoint, but this idea that I have to love or be compatible is BS. It's complete BS because you're speaking from a feeling. Love is a choice. Love is an action that you have to do every day. You can't say I did it Tuesday and then wake up on Wednesday and be like, no, I don't. Well, you don't really love me. I quote Pastor Mouse all the time. When you know someone's heart, when you know the way somebody love or how they love you or how you love them, you're able to look past their faults. And he was saying, because a lot of people are like, hey, man, how you stay with Doc so long? He's like, man, look, I know his heart.
Yeah.
So I can look past his faults.
Exactly.
Because I know his heart.
Yeah, you said that to me too.
You see what I'm saying? So when you know somebody's heart for real, yeah, okay, they're not perfect.
Right.
And we're not talking about sin, like just blatantly looking to hurt people, but like the things you don't like about them.
Right. Things that you would do better. You know what I'm saying?
I give you perfect with us. When we started doing the podcast, man, you used to be on me about being late because I'd be ridiculously late.
Yeah.
Man, but
be about 45 minutes.
But when we had a conversation,
and
I explained to you my perspective and where I was coming from, and I didn't use it as an excuse, like, so it's right, so I'm gonna keep being late.
Right.
I said I'm gonna work at being better, but I want you to understand, and I would be sending you pictures of the way my mail truck looked. Calling you when I was leaving the station, heading home. And so, but then you looked at it like, okay, wait, let me look at it from his perspective.
Yeah.
It take him 40-something minutes to get home. He been out all day in the heat, in the cold, when it's cold. You know what I'm saying? Sweating. He want to take a shower, change, maybe grab something to eat, decompress for a few minutes. It's hard when you want to record at 9 and he didn't get home till 8 and he got to take a shower, decompress, shit shower and shave, decompress, eat, and then be over here by 9 o'clock. That's and from where I was staying at the time, now I'm a shorter, I'm quicker.
It was a milli.
But at the time, it was taking me 20 minutes, which ain't a long drive, but still, 20 minutes.
Right.
So like, ain't no leaving at 8:50 and being here by 9 o'clock.
Especially
when you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're right. So it's gonna be more like 9:10, 9:15.
Right.
So now if I leave at 9. You know what I'm saying? Now you talking 9:20, 9:30, just depending on the day. And so now 9:30 ain't cool when I said I was going to be here at 9.
Yeah.
But when we start looking at, and then, so what did I do though? Okay, no, just because he's working with me, it's not an excuse to keep being ridiculously late. And you would say like, look, I give you 10, 15, but still. So now I'm trying to be, like today, I'm sitting in the driveway. Like in like the last couple months, I've been sitting in the driveway waiting.
Yeah.
Why? Because I respect and I value your time and I want you to respect and value mine. And so the love as homeboys, as friends that we have, you endured me being late and to the point to where you stopped saying stuff about it. But even though you didn't say nothing about it, I knew that it bothered you because you said it enough. It was on my mind. And so no, the very next week, no, it didn't change the very next week. 2 weeks, it didn't change. But I was cognizant of that and I was constantly working so we wouldn't have to keep having that conversation.
Right.
The problem in a lot of relationships is that we, and I'm gonna do like you because you got your notes out.
Yeah, go ahead.
You got your notes out, so I gotta like these was the notes that I made, and somebody had made a post, and I was like, oh yeah, that's dope.
Do it.
I gotta have it. So, one thing is in a relationship, and anytime you want to interject, because I know I can go in. We gotta stop avoiding conflict.
Say that again.
Stop avoiding conflict. Things will never get better if the other person is unaware that there is a problem. And so when you're feeling something, first of all, we got to learn to express it and say it in a way to where it's not like we're attacking the other person.
Right. That's the key. Yeah. Yeah. True.
You know what I'm saying? And like I get on you a lot about it because you're so executive.
Right.
You're not intending to be offensive or abrasive, but sometimes the way you say it, it comes off like, man, F you. I'm finna say, I said it with my chest.
Right.
That's not the way you meant it.
Right.
But that's the way I heard it.
Right.
But then I had to check me. Wait, did he say it like that or did I feel that?
Yeah.
But then with you though, you got to a point where you was like, okay, well, let me say what I got to say, but not try to be abrasive.
Yeah.
And we can't be afraid of being like, I know sometimes I send you a polo or a text and you probably be like, man, this nigga, man, like, man, F Shay, man. Like, but, and sometimes that's not mutually exclusive, right?
Right.
But we have those little minor conflicts. Okay. And just so everybody else know that I would say 85% of what happens with the Presidential Executive Podcast is on JB. You know what I'm saying? So that, like, when I made the statement that it's our thing, I mean from the standpoint as if he leaves, it cannot be a Presidential Executive Podcast because he's the executive. If I leave, it can't be the Presidential Executive Podcast because I'm the presidential. From that standpoint, it's our thing. Yeah. As far as like from the financial stuff, most of that, the equipment and all that, that's JB. And he does a lot, you know, on that. But even with that, like we had times like, hey, I need you to do, man, I'm doing this. I need you to do that. Right. That was like a little minor conflict, but you couldn't be afraid to tell me that because you was going to be feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
And then that may come out as you being mad because you never told me. And then I'm moving in a way and like, oh, I'm just doing.
Right.
Because like, I know even with the posting, like I post, you know what I'm saying? But work and moving around, ripping and running.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, I need you to post a lot. And so when you said that, did it happen the first day? No, but I make a conscious effort. Let me keep posting, tweeting, gramming, tagging, hashtagging, because I don't want you, because this is important to me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But you, because you were not afraid of the conflict, we were able to get past that. Second thing, stop trying to win fights. now a lot of times we'll have sometimes we're debating, and so it is kind of that thing, but like sometimes in relationships when stuff is brought up, it's like we're trying to win.
Especially with a male or female. Like I can speak to that as far as in a marriage, like, you know, like with me, like, you know, growing up in a sports family, you know, being athletic and doing other stuff, like I'm competitive.
Right.
Like it was, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to win at everything. You know what I'm saying? Like when people sometimes, you know, hit me up, being like, people get to checking. You know what I'm saying? You know, in Memphis we check. You know what I'm saying? And so people get to checking. Oh, JB, you hit below the belt. But like, nigga, I didn't know we had rules.
Right.
You started with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? You started like, it ain't no below the belt. You came at me.
You come for the king, you better not miss.
Exactly. So I'm a go. It ain't no below the belt. You checking, I'm a go for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a competitive nature. I can speak from my own experience. Like you want to win that battle. You know what I'm saying? You're arguing with your wife or your significant other. It's like you know what I'm saying? That's something I got to get better at because I know I'm trying to win because that's just my nature. Whatever we do, I'm trying to get the better half. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got in our relationship, some in the certain experience that you talked about, like I got to pull back. Like, cause it's not about winning.
Right.
We're trying to, you know, create something, you know, create something great. So that's going to take, you know, lesser of me some, you know, big up you, and then lesser of you, big up me. You know what I'm saying? So,
and so check what this said about it though. It said, find, and you kind of alluded that, find solutions instead of focusing on who's right and who is wrong. The goal is connection, not victory.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Connection, a lot of times in relationships, it's like, oh, I'm right, you're wrong. I got to show you why my way is better or your way isn't good. No. How can we make it to where both of us are happy? And again, using our example, initially, like our time was earlier.
Yeah.
And in the end, in the long run, it ended up helping both of us because, you know, as your kids are getting older and their bedtime getting later, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, well, this works out because I got time to put everybody to bed, spend a little time with wife, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the common ground was, okay, we can push the time back, which will allow you to be on time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then my thing is I'm going to work at being before time. And so now we ain't last, I would say probably about 4 or 5 months. Ain't been a big issue.
Right.
Because we were trying to find a solution.
Right.
It wasn't about you right, Shay wrong, Shay right, JB wrong. No. Yeah. What's the solution? We got to stop denying other people's feelings. And that goes back to what we said. Like, we can use that example. I could not deny the fact that me being 20, 30 minutes late wasn't a big deal to you. Because we're using your house. We're using your space. This is your equipment. So I can't act like, oh man, JB tripping. No, the way you feel is important. Even though that's not my situation, but the way you feel is important. But then what you did was you didn't deny that my feelings were important. You was like, wait a second, man, this dude, sometimes be at work 13, 14 hours in the heat. Part of the time he's standing up 3, 4, 5 hours straight. Yeah. Then sitting in one spot another 5, 6, 7 hours. No air in the truck, in the elements. So when it's cold, I'm cold. When it's hot, I'm hot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, then I got all the, if I got a bunch of boxes, I got to jump out a bunch of times. Then on top of that, after driving all day, then I got to drive another 40 minutes to get home, only to come in, shower, boo-boo, shave, change, whatever. Yeah. You looked at it like, man, the way he feels is important too. So how can I make it to where I don't be hurt, but at the same time, I'm protecting his feelings too? And a lot of times we negate that in relationships. It's all about expressing how I feel. Yeah. You made me feel this way. But we don't look at the other person's perspective. Well, hold on. Well, like, why are they moving like that? How do they feel like that? Let me try to understand. And even if I don't, it's okay to say, man, I really don't understand why you coming like that. But I'm going to try to work with you as we walk through this process. Stop trying to get people to think like you. Says as long as someone respects your needs, they do not have to think exactly like you on every topic. It's not ideal and often not possible. And on a lot of stuff now, a lot of times we agree on stuff, but like off camera, y'all miss it. We disagree on a lot of stuff. We don't think alike. We don't move alike. We do not operate alike. If y'all could see how many times we butt heads prior to the show. Right. Cause even so, I ain't gonna tell y'all some of the stuff. Jay be like, man, we gonna do this. And I be like, man, I don't want to do it. I don't think we should do it. I don't think it's necessary to do it. Right. And Jay be like, yeah, so anyway, we finna do this. But at the same time, he ain't trying to say, no, Shay, say I'm right. Right. And at the same time, I'm not trying to say, no, I'm right. It's like, okay, you express where you at. I express where I'm at. Now, how can we make this work? And a lot of times people will try to get them to think like them and then be mad because they don't think the same way. Yeah. Stop waiting for people to read your mind. And I know guys go through this a lot. It's like, how much sense would it make if you wanted your wife to make you a steak for dinner or to cook steaks for dinner? You don't say nothing. You come home. Now you've been working from home a lot, but like when you was coming home, you come home, you just standing up there looking up the side of her face and you ain't said nothing. And she's supposed to know why you're looking up the side of her face and why you're stomping around and slamming doors and all you had to do was call or text and say, or even before she started, like, hey, babe, before you start, can we eat steaks tonight? That's it. Right.
You should have known I wanted steak.
Right.
How? I've been working hard. Yeah. I've been having these problems and going back and forth with my coworkers at work. I wanted to come home and eat a nice juicy steak. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Instead, like you said, expressing that and being like, hey, babe, you think we can go get that ribeye we saw on sale?
Right, exactly. There? And so a lot of times, like I said, a lot of guys can identify with that because generally we say where we are, what we thinking, how we feeling. And when we don't, the only reason we don't is because y'all gonna be hurt when we tell you what we thinking. But with us, a lot of times we don't care. I mean, and when I say we don't care, I mean we're not gonna be butthurt because you don't like something.
We ain't tripping.
We're not bothered by it. We're not upset.
We ain't tripping
because you don't like something or disagree with something. Right. But again, we're not mind readers. As much as y'all would like to think that we're mind readers, we're not.
We don't even
because y'all have so much going on. Yeah. I can't. I'm not sitting up trying to dissect every time why your body language is off or why you got an attitude or why you're mad. Because it could be anything. Yeah. It could be your job. It could be the kids. It could be I left a dish in the sink and didn't wash it. It could be I didn't make my side of the bed up right. It could be because you wanted some last night and I didn't give you nothing. Like it could be 100 different reasons of why you feeling that way. And if I assume
Yep.
I could guess 9 times and be wrong.
Yep.
Stop trying to make one person meet all your needs.
Mm.
Now, women had this bad, but like with men, like, we had dudes we went to the club with or to a party with.
Mm-hmm.
We had, or go out and get a drink with. We had dudes that we kicked it with at church and had those kind of conversations.
Yep.
We had dudes that if we knew it was about to go down and we got to knuckle up or get the strap, we had dudes and people that we knew
who to call.
You know what I'm saying? Even when we were dealing with women, the woman who could cook may necessarily not been the woman that you could call at 2 a.m.
Right.
She may not have been necessarily the one you could take to a black tie affair.
Right.
Or go watch a movie with, or go to the game with.
Or take out of town.
You see what I'm saying? Because we didn't try to make one person, you got to be everything. And if you're not everything, then this just ain't gonna work. It's impossible.
Right. That's why it's good to have other people or friends.
Right. And not saying that you should be cheating or nothing, but like the reason why guys like hanging with their homeboys, because I get some, because you can't be everything. I can't tell certain jokes. I can't laugh at certain things. I can't be as open and as free and relaxed. But when I go kick it with them, then I'm able to come back and the stuff I need to be with you, I can be.
Yep.
And then the last thing is we got to stop demanding that people respect our boundaries while not respecting their boundaries. Boundaries are healthy parts of relationships on both sides. So like, I've been in situations where somebody will, don't you be cussing at me. But then when they talk, like every other word out your mouth is a cuss word.
Right. Like what?
You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say name, but like you know, like my longest relationship, like you know, like that was one. Like she's like, boy, you cussing, da 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 da. And it's like, but you, every time you talk to me,
be lacing.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, but you're on me.
Right.
You know, oh, no, don't holler at me. You know, when you holler at me, it may, but then when you talk to me, if we get into an intense conversation, like you're legit yelling. I can get intense and you think I'm yelling. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a lot of times in relationships, it is that double standard of I am free to do or say whatever the hell I want. And you can't to the same measure. And if you do it, then you're crossing all types of boundaries and lines and you don't understand me and you don't get me. But again, that goes back to negating how I feel. You don't look at as a man how I feel when somebody's attacking me. You know, you don't get how I feel when you're taking shots at me. And so now I either got to stand there and be emasculated and not say nothing, or run the risk of intentionally, like, I know what's going to hurt you. And I can say that to back you off of me, but then you're going to be hurt more in the long run. So it's a catch-22. Because on the flip side, if I let you emasculate me enough, you're going to lose respect for me as a man because I can just run over him and treat. So I'm going to catch-22. Because if I do cut your head off, you hurt. But if I don't, you're going to say, oh, he a weak man. I can do whatever I want to do with him. So I think that it has to be, and I'm not saying that everybody, and we appreciate Pastor Mike, B Hall, Erica, Melanie, my brother, Zarina, MK, SO, like, but it has to be, both things are choices and both people have to be willing to do them. And so my advice to anybody, if you're a woman, you find your dude that's fiscally responsible, that looks out for you, that's considerate, that cares about your best interest, that's willing to talk and listen and work and adapt and fit and put up with all your idiosyncrasies, then you like keep him. Work through whatever you got to work. You know, now if he's, cheating, if he's abusive, if he's, if he got a negative talk, if he trying to squash your dreams all the time, no, don't fool. But if he's a person who encourages you and he respects you and he treats you right, man, keep that dude. Because in the long run, he's going to always work to make you happy.
Be better. And the same here, man. Like it's, this is an interesting conversation, man. I think it was well needed, and just continue to to look up this stuff either way. Like technically it's not a right or wrong answer, but you know what I'm saying? We were, referencing scripture, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of almost trumps.
Well, I mean, and then too, but we
things.
recognize that if you don't believe that,
yeah,
then a lot of this stuff is just gonna be
right.
But if that's a template that you look at or you follow or you say there's some good stuff in there, because most people will agree with that part of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so if especially if you do subscribe to that, if you do say this is how I live my life, then you can't say this is where I'm at, and then you go through.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how do you know that you love this person? You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest, man. It's some women that I had loved and was compatible with. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't work. But some of it didn't have anything to do with the lack of love or the compatibility. It was just certain things that not that I couldn't deal with, that I just didn't want to deal with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We didn't have arguments or debates about it or nothing like that. But when I took a step back, I was like, do I really want to deal with this for 40, 50 years?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was not willing to be miserable and fight. And again, we're not talking about she can't cook. You know what I'm saying? Or like, we're talking about I'm coming over and I get attacked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because somebody else hurt you that I didn't do that, but you putting that on me. And I got to deal with this every day. You see what I'm saying? And so, but again, man, we thankful for everybody who, contributed to the emails.
Yeah, everybody. Appreciate y'all. We're going to get y'all that out. And, y'all, please continue with that executive mindset.
Most definitely keep it presidential.
Salute.
Arrivederci. Bow.